Faces, free haircuts, and dreaming big. Today, Madison East High School barber students, went to Kennedy Elementary to further develop their skills while providing free services. Our Cameron Kelly was able to spend the afternoon with the student barbers and Kennedy Elementary staff and students. So Cameron, tell us all about your day. It looks pretty fun.
It was, Maria. As soon as I walked in the gym, I saw students taking pictures and dancing to music. I also saw student barbers focusing in on their clients. One thing each staff member mentioned was they hope students were able to see a reflection of their futures.
What did you get done today?
A haircut, like a line-up.
A line-up? How do you feel? Do you feel swaggy? Do you feel fresh?
Fresh.
Madison East student barbers spent the afternoon perfecting their craft while providing free haircuts. Instructor Harry Bernard says his class learns every hair texture and other major life skills.
We're not just cutting hair, we're also therapists. So learning how to talk to your client, learning how to relate, learning how to carry on that conversation.
Kennedy Elementary principal says this event got kids excited about their futures. She says one student mentioned taking this course when she gets to high school.
She was like, what about braiding? Man, maybe you could start something like that if there isn't already a program. And so her wheels were turning and she was already getting excited about potential classes she could take and partnerships she could do.
Student barber Cameron Miller says he has built a clientele from taking this course and hopes to pursue a career as a barber and an athlete in college.
I'm trying to do like both at the same time, find somewhere or like a school I want to go to that has both like the sports I want to play and also like a barbering program as well there.
Miller offers advice to those who might be hesitant about trying something new.
Being consistent and being consistent and just like not giving up and keep staying at it.
And this is the second year Bernard has taught this course, but the first time he has taken a class to help students in the community. He says students learn the true meaning of teamwork. Live in the studio, Cameron Kelly, NBC 15 News.